Wang, an ordinary boy, acquires the Superpower Cube system and gains unbelievable abilities. But when the girl he loves is kidnapped into a supernatural world, he embarks on a mission to rescue her and rise to become the strongest in this extraordinary universe. The anime begins with Shenyao's phone rings. As soon as she answers, a man on the other end warns her that someone is coming for her. All of a sudden, Shenyao is surrounded by 4 men in suits, and these guys don't seem like they are here to give her candy. So Shenyao gets up and runs straight for the door, but there's an agent blocking her path, so she is forced to run down the corridor. Instead, she eventually finds a closet, so she opens the door and locks herself inside to escape the agents. But now she's got nowhere to go. The agents start trying to break down the door, and Shenyao is terrified, but just when things look hopeless, the man who called to warn her tells her to turn around behind her. There is a blob of yellow energy floating, and from it, a hand reaches out to grab her, so Shenyao closes her eyes and waits for the inevitable. By the time the agents have broken the door down, Shenyao is long gone. She was taken by Wang, and he's the guide who called to warn her about the agents, so he is currently trying to get her as far away from them as possible, so he is hitting every Parker move in the book. However, the agents have a secret weapon to counter Wang's Parker, a gun. Wang gets shot out of the air, and he's mostly unharmed, but he won't be able to get away from the agents like this. So he puts Shenyao down and sets up a barrier to protect her. While he prepares for a fight, he jumps off the ledge, and as soon as he lands, is one of the agents with a punch that definitely made him start smelling sound. Another agent runs up to attack him, so Wang punches him away, while also fending off 2 other agents. Eventually, one of them manages to tackle Wang, and now that he's got him, he drives Wang into the air. After a brief scuffle mid-air, the man manages to slam Wang into a building with the help of his 3 allies. But when the dust settles, all 3 allies have been knocked out. Wang, on the other hand, is perfectly fine, but I'm sure at least 10 innocent people just died in that building. Wang still has an agent confronting him, so he floats back out of the building and takes off his coat because things are about to get serious. The agent is tired of wasting time, so he decides to go all out and picks up a second building to use as a projectile. The people in that building probably wish they called in sick for work today, as the agent throws the building at Wang, but without even breaking a sweat, Wang catches. The building, with his powers, breaks it apart and throws the blocks back at the agent. The agent tries to defend himself, but Wang simply compressed all the blocks until a massive explosion occurs that sends Wang and the agent to a mirrored version of the world. Wang is annoyed that things turned out like this because it's going to cause a lot of trouble for him, but he still has to deal with the agent first. The agent pulls out his gun and aims it at Wang, and I'm not sure what he thinks a gun is going to do when Wang just caught a building a minute ago, but none of it matters because the gun doesn't work in this dimension and Wang is out of time. Anyway, the yellow energy begins to surround Wang, and as it does, it knocks the agent backward into the water. Time then begins to rewind, and Wang hopes that things can turn out differently in the next loop. Eventually, everything goes back to normal, and Shenyao wakes up back at her desk in the library. She has no recollection of what just happened, and she finds a young Wang standing next to her and asking for help because he doesn't understand his math homework years. Go by, and now everyone is at a high school mixer. They are playing Jenga, and it's Shenyao's turn to make a move, but when she locks eyes with Wang, she gets flustered and messes up as part of the game. Anyone who topples the tower is required to reveal a secret, so the group asks Shenyao to tell them who her crush is. Wang starts smiling as soon as he hears this, so his classmates start teasing him, because there's no way Shenyao could possibly like a plain-looking NPC like him. But to everyone's surprise, including Wang, Shenyao admits that she really does like him, and she makes it very clear that she's not joking, because she has liked him ever since the day they met in middle school. Wang is too stunned because having Shenyao confess to him is like a dream come true. Normally, this would have been the happiest day of his life, but right after the mixer ended, he got kidnapped and is currently being beaten to a pulp down by the river. Wang has never met any of these people in his life, but their boss, Sunjin, happens to have a crush on Shenyao, and after learning that Shenyao likes Wang, rather than just taking the L and moving on, he decided to drag Wang down to the river and have his underlings threaten to kill him. Wang recognizes Sunjin as the leader of a notorious gang, and he also recalls hearing that Sunjin would constantly harass Shenyao, so he realizes what's going on here, but there's nothing he can do against this many opponents Sunjin. Then, video calls Shenyao from Wang's phone and tells her to have a look at the pitiful state of her crush Shen Yao is horrified to see what Sunjin has done to Wang, so Wang yells for Sunjin to leave her out of this because he doesn't want her to worry about him. But Sunjin is intent on making Shen Yao watch Wang's humiliation. He tells Wang that he is a total loser and that he has no right to date someone as perfect as Shen Yao. He then orders Wang to swear that he will never get involved with Shen Yao again otherwise. Sunjin says he's going to drop him in the river now. Wang could take the easy way out and swear that he won't talk to Shen Yao again. But Wang would never betray her like that. So instead, he headbutts the guy holding him to Wang's credit. That was a really solid headbutt, but unfortunately for him, it was so solid that the guy holding him accidentally let go, so Wang ends up falling into the river. Sunjin starts panicking because he never actually planned to kill Wang. He just wanted to scare him a little so he wouldn't steal Shen Yao from him. He frantically calls out for Wang to see if he's all right, but no one answers, so Wang is probably dead. That means Sunjin has just committed murder and he let Shen Yao witness the entire thing. Meanwhile, inside the water, Wang is currently drowning, but he doesn't bother trying to save himself because if he can't protect the one that he loves, then there's no point in being alive. As his life flashes before his eyes, Wang has a vision of his childhood. He had just run away from a fight, and by middle school standards, that instantly destroyed all the popularity he used to have. And to really rub it in, he overhears two girls talking about how much of a crybaby they think he is. Hours went by, and as the school day ended, everyone went home, but Wang stayed behind and continued to sulk. Eventually, Shen Yao walks out of the gate, but she stops as soon as she notices Wang sitting by the gate. So she asks him what's wrong. Wang remains silent, so Shen Yao assumes he must have forgotten his umbrella and offers to share hers with him so they can walk home together. Wang refuses her offer and says he can walk home by himself, but Shen Yao reminds him that it's still raining and he doesn't have an umbrella, so he's going to get soaked. Wang realizes she's right, but he says he can just wait here until the rain stops. Shen Yao thinks Wang is really funny, but then she notices a cut on his arm. So she asks him to let her see it. Wang initially refuses, but Shen Yao says she just wants to help dress the wound. Wang eventually agrees, so Shen Yao puts a bandage on his arm and blows a kiss onto it to make it heal faster, and at that very moment, Wang had already imagined the next 50 years of his life with Shen Yao. He thanks her for her help, and from that moment forward, the two of them were practically inseparable. Back to the present. Wang wakes up in the water, and he notices a light coming from the bottom of the river. He has already sunk too far down for him to make it back to the surface before he drowns, so he decides to commit to it and swims down to check out the light before he dies once he gets to the bottom. He finds a little glowing cube there, so he picks it up, and before he even realizes, "What's going on?" the cube activates and goes inside him all of a sudden. Wang feels immense pain throughout his body, and a few moments later he is teleported out of the water and starts traveling through a wormhole that lands him in the middle of a cube. When Wang wakes up, he starts panicking because he was drowning a second ago. He is relieved to be alive, but now he has no idea where he is or how he got here, for that matter. Just then, a system appears in front of him and announces that Wall has the power to draw a 15m radius around himself, and within that area, he is allowed to teleport to any location instantly. None of that makes any sense to Wang since he doesn't believe teleportation is real, but in the next moment, he gets teleported against his will. He appears into the sky above the canal, and Wang starts freaking out again because he is really high up and he's worried he might fall to his doom, but he's actually floating, so he's safe once he calms down. He looks at the ground and realizes that Sunjin is desperately searching for him in the water because he's worried that he might have killed Wang, and he finds it kind of amusing, but a few seconds later he gets teleported to a new location. Sunjin gets the feeling that someone was just watching him from the sky, so he asks his subordinates if they heard anything just now, but they think Sunjin must have just been hallucinating, so he tells them to keep looking for Wang. Meanwhile, Wang ended up being teleported into an empty classroom in his school. He is now sure that he really can teleport, but he doesn't understand how he got this power. Suddenly, the system speaks up and tells Juan that he has just continuously activated his teleportation ability. Wang starts freaking out and worries that he might be going crazy since he is hearing voices in his head, but the system corrects him because it is actually in Wang's body, not his head. That's still not very comforting, so Wang tells it to get out of his body, but the system ignores him and warns that someone is approaching. There is a staff member walking towards the classroom because he heard a weird noise coming from inside, but as he opens the door, all he sees is an empty classroom with a puddle of water on the floor. Wang ended up making it back to his house, so he decided to take a shower to relax. Once he's done with his shower, he pulls out his phone and somehow it still works, even though it was at the bottom of the river with him. The first thing he does is call Shen Yao to let her know that he's alive. And as soon as Shen Yao answers, she starts frantically asking him if he's all right, he tells her. He is fine, but she thinks Sun Jun went way too far, so she asks Wang if they should report him to the police. Honestly, Shen Yao should have called the cops the moment she saw Wang fall off the bridge, but Wang tells her there's no need, he managed to get away without Sun Jun spotting him. So right now, he's probably still searching the river for Wang's body and worrying about all the potential jail time he could get anyway. A lot of stuff happened today, so Wang tells her to get some rest for today and hangs up. He then lays down in his bed and wonders what he's going to do about his system because no one would believe him even if he told them all of a sudden. The system shows up again and asks if Wang has calmed down, yet Wang asks it why. It keeps following him around, but the system reminds him that it is a part of his body now, so Wang can't get away from it. The system then activates the cube, and Wang is sucked into it. Once again, the system explains that it has established a connection with Wang's body, so in other words, Wang is stuck with it forever. That makes him the user of the Heradra Cube Universal System, and by extension, the master of the system. Wang still doesn't fully understand, so he asks the system where he is. So it explains that this is a macro space within the cube, and even though the cube is only 3Cs big, it has a lot more space on the inside. Y knows the system is telling the truth, so he asks it why it bother helping someone like him, and the system tells him it's because it wants to make his dream come true, and that dream is to become the king of the world. This was the end of episode. One subscribe to not miss the next. Then we see Wang training to teleport using the power cube. He asks the system to continue training, but the system informs him that his energy is depleted. From now on, training will only last for 1 minute. Wang wonders why the system has switched to electronic mode, but the most important thing now is how to select a specific location. The system advises him to use WeChat radiation, which will allow him to see everything around him. When Wang uses his ability, he sees inside the surrounding houses, but this quickly drains his energy, causing him to faint. He wakes up in bed, realizing that he has been transported using the power cube. Upon seeing the cube beside him, he gets angry and asks where it came from. The cube tells him that it will always stay by his side and will disappear if he dies. Wang grabs the cube and realizes that he now has a superpower. When he tries searching for information about the system online, he finds nothing. Suddenly, he receives a message from Chao inviting him to have lunch together, which makes him very happy. He then asks the system how to make his superpower stronger. The system explains that it has a self-upgrading function. His abilities will continuously grow as long as he absorbs energy. However, to activate this function, he needs a Shi-2 stone, the most powerful material in this world. There are many of these stones along the roads, but a special yellow one is located in the landlord's house, and another is in his mother's ring. Wang hesitates, saying that those stones are very important to his parents. The system informs him that these stones are actually in his parents' garden, and if he wants to become powerful in this world, he must retrieve them. Determined, Wang sets out to get them. He uses WeChat radiation to pinpoint the exact location of the stones. He finds the yellow stone and senses that it contains immense energy. The system confirms that it is a Stage 1 stone, which can be used for upgrading. The stone glows, and Wang suddenly finds himself inside the cube. Placing the stone into its inner slot, a strange sensation sweeps through his body, and he feels a surge of power. The system explains that the stone has upgraded his DNA, allowing him to fight more effectively. The next morning, Wang wakes up and rushes to school, chatting with his friends. While they are talking, Sun Jun and his gang enter, searching for Wang. He hides behind a book to avoid being seen. The system tells him that he is now strong enough to fight them. As Sun Jun approaches, Yao steps in, demanding that he leave the school and stop bothering them. She asks him to leave Wang alone. However, Wang tells her to stay calm and let him handle it. Sun Jun gets angry, grabs Wang, and prepares to hit him, but Wang grabs his hands and warns him not to disturb him again or he will kill him. Sun Jun is shocked by Wang's strength and challenges him to a fight at the North City Basketball Club at 5 p.m. After school, Wang heads to the basketball club and asks for Sun Jun. The gang members mock him, calling him weak and cowardly, claiming that he ran away the night before. They assure him that Sun Jun will punish him. When Sun Jun arrives, he declares that Wang won't escape this time. The system then informs Wang that there are 13 opponents, and his chance of victory is 20%. Sun Jun and his gang stand before Wang, who is alone. A fighter named Qiang steps forward to start the battle. Qiang attacks, but Wang skillfully dodges all his strikes, exhausting him. Taking advantage of the moment, Wang lands a powerful blow, knocking Qiang to the ground. Everyone is shocked by Wang's strength. The rest of the gang prepares to fight Wang together. They attack him one by one, and Wang does his best to counter them. He delivers a powerful kick to one gang member, sending him flying. He continues to fight, taking down multiple opponents. However, one of them manages to grab Wang, while another strikes him, knocking him to the ground, and gets up and fights back fiercely, grabbing one opponent by the legs, swinging him around and throwing him at Sun Jun, making them both fall to the ground. Sun Jun realizes that Wang's strength has surpassed that of normal humans. After defeating the entire gang, Wang walks toward Sun Jun. However, the system warns him that his physical energy has dropped significantly and he cannot continue fighting. Wang ignores the warning, determined to use this opportunity to prove that these lowly thugs are nothing. At that moment, a man named Hu Huan arrives with his gang. Mocking them, he says, "I thought the fighting power in North City was strong, but it turns out no one can defeat Sun Jun. I came here to laugh at him. He's weak like a girl and doesn't deserve to be called the leader of North City. As for the position of city leader A, it will be mine." Wang interrupts him, saying he's not interested in their rivalry, but Zhao should not be involved in this matter. Hu Huan scoffs. "Who are you? How dare you interrupt me, you fool?" He then orders his gang to attack Wang. Since Wang's physical energy is too low for combat, he runs away. Then, using his invisibility power, he vanishes in front of them. Suddenly, the electricity goes out and Wang appears behind Hu Huan, grabbing him by the neck and slamming him to the ground. He then fights the rest of the gang, defeating them all. Sun Jun is stunned by Wang's strength. At that moment, the club manager knocks on the door, demanding they open it immediately or he will call the police. They can't take over the gym. Meanwhile, Zhao stands beside the manager, pleading with him to save Wang, as the gang has him surrounded inside. As Sun Jun tries to escape, Wang stands in his way, telling him he'll let him live under one condition. Sun Jun must publicly claim that he was the one who defeated Huan's gang and admit his mistake in front of everyone. When the club manager enters the gym, he finds Sun Jun holding Wang by the neck, making it look like Sun Jun was the victor. As a result, Sun Jun confesses his mistake, and Wang is seen as innocent. With this, Wang successfully protects Chao. Determined to become even stronger to protect his loved ones, Wang decides to synchronize with more power stones. He embarks on a journey to search for treasures. While the city has many valuable stones, most of them already have owners, and he can't steal them. Instead, he decides to go into the wilderness to find an unclaimed stone. He spends all his money buying adventure gear and heads into the forest to start digging. After hours of searching with no results, he grows frustrated. The system then contacts him, informing him that it has detected strong energy underground in a hidden cavern. However, Wang fails to teleport into the cavern. The system explains that if a space is completely sealed, teleportation is impossible. There must be at least a 1 cm gap. Wang begins searching for a small opening and eventually reaches a lake. Using his WeChat radiation, he finds the right spot and teleports in, but immediately slips and falls due to the slippery ground. He turns on his flashlight, searching for an entrance, but finds nothing. The temperature inside is at least 10 degrees lower than outside, and the place is very damp. The system tells him the stone is right in front of you. Wang then sees a large green stone and searches for a way inside. As he gets closer, a giant snake suddenly appears behind him, preparing to attack. Wang quickly vanishes, reappearing in different spots. The snake loses sight of him. Wang carefully moves forward while the snake unknowingly follows him. The system scans the area and detects 12 pieces of energy-reactive stones. Overjoyed, Wang realizes this will grant him immense power. He successfully collects the first stone, but when he grabs the second, it slips from his hands and falls into a lower area. Using WeChat radiation, he scans for it only to see the snake near the stone. Panic sets in. The snake lunges at him and both of them fall into the water. Wang grabs a shovel and strikes the snake, using his power to teleport into the power cube. The system then informs him 11 stones have been collected. Stones are classified into basic, intermediate, and advanced levels. Every 3 stones can be fused into a higher level stone. Basic stones only enhance primary abilities. Advanced stones can be embedded into different treasures, possibly unlocking unique properties. Wang declares, I want to collect an advanced level stone. The system warns him that it will take around 100 hours to gather the required stones. Wang must choose 9 stones for fusion. Based on past experience, fusing 2 specific stones will require fighting a white serpent. Determined, Wang fuses the stones, increasing his power significantly. He then returns to face the giant snake. With his newfound strength, Wang launches a series of powerful attacks, ultimately defeating the snake. He then dives into the lake and collects the remaining stones. Meanwhile, Sun Jun and Hugh Han meet, vowing to take revenge on Wang. And so our episode ends here. To watch more episodes, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated. We shift to Wang, who is on his way to meet Shin, and they started walking in the park. Shin said to Wang, I think you've changed a lot. A strange power is evident in you. Wang told Shin, I will protect you and won't expose you to any danger. Shin replied, I won't let you face problems alone. Wang said, we will face our future together. After that, they went to have fun and enjoy their day. Later, they sat at a table to have a drink. And Shin said to Wang, let's play a game. She hid a candy in one of her hands and asked Wang to guess which hand it was in. Wang used his powers, which are his senses, to determine the candy's location, and each time he picked the right hand, causing the candy to run out of the bag. Shin was astonished by Wang's accuracy every time. Wang told her it was an electric sense, but when Shin glared at him in anger because she didn't believe him, he said he was joking and explained that he could see her when she put the candy and that she should hide it behind her back. Shin said to Wang, you discovered all this? And added, I think you're still hiding something. Wang gave Shin the green stone and told her it was for her, which amazed Shin because of its beauty, and she asked where he found it. Wang replied, in the water. The next day, Wang was waiting for Shin, but time passed and she still hadn't come. He tried to call her, but she didn't answer. He then learned of an incident at her home and ran quickly to her house. He saw a lot of press, and also the police were there. He heard Shin's mother telling the police what happened, informing them about Shin's kidnapping. Wang then began to ask himself, who did this? He spotted June among the crowd and approached him. Wang stopped June and asked, why are you feeling tense? He asked again, do you want to tell me something? This made June nervous, and Wang used a show of his powers to frighten June. He warned him that he was in a bad mood and that he was looking for a fight. June felt very scared and said he would tell him everything. We move on to Mr. Lucar, who was punishing Hyung Lucha, told Hyung he hates lying and exploitation. But these things, when compared to getting rid of Shiko Bayon if it's just a one-time opportunity, he wanted to try it. Lucar believed that the punishment for lying should be harsh. Hyung tried to beg Lucar for mercy, crying, but Lucar told him to be quiet. If he wanted to live, he got ready to hit the ball with a bat. Then Lucar approached Shin and said to her, now you've seen the result of my anger, so when I ask you something, you must answer. He asked, what's your relationship with Shiko? Shin replied, I don't know anyone by that name, Lucar. Then showed her his picture and warned her not to lie until she was rescued. Shin insisted, really? I don't know. Lucar grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you want to regain your memories. He was about to strike her, but his assistant intervened, asking him to stop. The assistant told Lucar that he thought this girl knew a lot about Shiko and believed Shiko cared about her. Lucar argued that it was all nonsense and that he had bound her to use her as bait for him. The assistant insisted that Shiko cared for the girl and had not shown up yet because she was not just anyone. And that she might have important secrets, he suggested, that if they could lure Shiko here, they would have a great chance of winning. Lucar replied that he had spent a lot of money to kill Shiko. The assistant pointed out that while those assassins were professionals, none of them knew Shiko's true strength, and reminded him that no one knew the difference between victory and defeat. He argued that if the girl died here, Shiko would be very angry and would explode with grief, so he recommended that they let her go because they couldn't do anything to her, and later threaten her into submission, and she would then tell them everything. Lucar agreed but instructed them to keep her mouth shut. The assistant covered Shin's mouth and told her that she would stay with them, asking her to talk because he couldn't save her next time. We shift to Wang, who is angry and asks June, is Shin being kidnapped because of Hong's punishment? June explained, that's what happened to deal with you. June asked Wang if he knew Lushar, to which Wang replied, no. June explained that Lushar came from a big crime family and told him about a problem called the kneeling battle, which involved Lushar being beaten by the child of a powerful gangster. After that, the gangster came with his son and knelt before Lushar. Even as Lushar drove away in his car, the gangster and his son remained kneeling. Thus, they called this battle the Kneeling Battle, and the street was named Kneeling Gate. Wang was surprised and asked Jun about Shiko. He wondered why Luchur thought he could tempt Shiko by kidnapping Shin Junin, reminded him, do you remember when Shin had the accident in high school? She was saved by a man. This was Shiko. Many people wanted to get to Shiko, but nobody could. And when he disappeared and resurfaced, he broke Lucar's finger because Lucar was seeking revenge. Then the Yan family abandoned Lucar, which made him angry. From that time on, Lucar vowed to get revenge on Shiko and began searching for him everywhere, leaving no clue behind. Wang remarked that he thought this was all just chatter, but Jun retorted that it might sound like that to Wang, but they were facts to them. He added that Luchur was angry without reason and that he would eventually be killed. Wang concluded that Luchur must be apprehended and believed the whole thing started with Yang as he lied to Luchur and told him that Shin had a connection with Shiko. Jun pointed out that Hung was hasty in his thinking and stated that he didn't trust him in this story, so he left him alone. However, Luchar was not their equal, and he thought Hung was punishing himself now. Wang stood up to leave, and Jun asked, where are you going? Wang replied, I'm going to rescue Shin. Yoon and Ger warned him, I told you this is very dangerous, and dealing with Luchar won't be easy. Wang responded, I'm not easy to deal with either, and asked him to call the police to atone for his mistakes. Wang made his way to Shin's location and asked the voice, are you sure Shin is here? The voice confirmed, of course, and told him she was on the upper floor, revealing that he had tracked her down using the stone he had given Shin. We then shift to Luchar, who asked his assistant, do you think after all this planning, I will fail to catch Shiko? The assistant told Luchar after allying with Mr. Shah. If we don't catch Shiko, we won't let him escape safely. Luchar said to him, you are very naive, because after all this effort, I won't let him go at all. Sean added, I haven't cooperated with anyone and told them he was here for revenge as well, prompting Luchar to laugh. The assistant mentioned, Mr. Sean talks like this all the time, and Sean noted that he had limits. Luchar, still laughing, replied that since he would get rid of Shiko, then everything he asked for would be his. The assistant thought to himself that Mr. Luchar was very arrogant and suspected this was all for revenge. We moved back to Wang, who started searching for Shin, and the voice informed him that it had detected 7 people nearby, causing Wang to feel angry. He asked the voice, is the high-level stones upload complete? The voice replied, it's only 3 minutes away from finishing. We cut to one of the guards, informing Mr. Luchar about a strange person in the area. Luchar ordered the guards over walkie-talkie, if you see him, kill him so he doesn't interrupt our work. Wang climbed up to the building and tried to break the door lock, but one of the guards told him, hey kid, you should leave here. You can't open that door because it's sealed with a spiritual force. If it reacts to you, your body will turn into openings of blood. A voice told Wang that the enemy's combat power was 52% and your power is 50%. Wang told the guard he wanted the key. The guard replied to Wang, I think you're seeking your own death, and informed him that anyone who tries to enter the building would be killed immediately. Wang grabbed the guard and said, you have to give me the key so I can save my friend. The guard replied to Wang, then feel free to enter. We moved to Lucia, who after entering the room with Shin said, I'll turn on the TV for you so you won't feel bored, and opened the cameras on the TV. He asked her which floor. This boy would reach back to Wang. Facing the guard threw a punch at Wang, but he dodged it and landed a hit on the guard, though it didn't affect him. They exchanged blows back and forth until Wang delivered a strong punch to the guard and quickly moved to deliver another hit, but he failed and was caught by the guard, who threw him to the ground. The guard tried to stomp on him, but Wang dodged the attack. Then the guard got closer and started throwing punches at Wang, but he managed to block and dodge them with his speed. Wang told himself he needed to find a weakness in the guard. He dodged the guard's attacks again and unleashed a powerful kick at the guard, causing him to crash into the wall. However, the guard didn't give up and attacked Wang once more, but Wang dodged again and delivered a punch to him with a hidden force, sending the guard crashing to the floor. Wang said, I know this is against boxing, but we aren't in a real match. After that, Wang picked up the key for the door. He opened the door and continued to ascend, but a voice warned Wang to be cautious, making him dodge an attack thrown at him. However, he couldn't avoid the next blow, which sent him tumbling down the stairs. Another guard asked Wang, how did you defeat Pablo? Wang replied, he almost killed me. The guard told Wang, all right, I'll wait for you, and he climbed up, leaving Wang hanging. Wang climbed the stairs again, and the voice informed him that the guard's power was 75%, causing Wang to get angry as he said, I'm going to take him down. Wang moved toward the guard and said, come out and fight me. The guard appeared behind him and thought, I don't want to kill you, so I won't dirty my sword. Then disappeared and reappeared, declaring, I'll kill you for money. After that, the guard attacked Wang with several knife strikes, but Wang avoided all the blows, and when the guard threw the knife at Wang, he dodged it too. The guard made the knife change direction and return towards Wang, but he dodged it again, leaping into the air and striking the guard, but the guard disappeared again and thought to himself, do you really think you can defeat me? He declared, I'm the heir of the flying knives, recalling when his master threw him into a room filled with many dangerous blades during his training, where he discovered his hidden strength after that. He approached Wang, convinced that no one could defeat him, and launched a surprise attack on Wang from behind. Wang, however, delivered a strong slap that knocked the guard back. Then the guard quickly attacked Wang again, delivering punches that caused him to stagger when he got too close and nearly stabbed Wang from behind. Wang used his force to pull out a large bat and swung it at the guard, delivering a powerful blow that severely injured him. We switched to the other guards, where one said, Chada fell too, just like Pablo. A female guard remarked, I think this fighter is incredibly strong. Another guard responded, he managed to take down 2 powered fighters, but if he meets Babe-Off, I think he'll be defeated in 10 minutes. The female guard replied, if that's the case, there's no need to worry. Let's collect the reward and go home. The guard told her, but if the opposite happens, the female guard stated, I think that would be fun, wouldn't it? We returned to Wang facing Bevlov. Wang swung a strong punch at Bevlov, but Bev blocked it and grabbed Wang, delivering a hit that knocked him down. Bevlov said to Wang, you move after receiving my punches, so I need to strengthen my upcoming hits for you. After that, he gripped Wang and choked him fiercely, declaring, no one can escape from my choke. Wang revealed a knife in his hand and tried to stab Bevlov, but Bevlov blocked Wang's blade. Wang refused to give up and switched the knife to his other hand, managing to injure Bevlov just enough to escape his grip. After that, Wang landed a punch on Bev, but it didn't affect him. Wang was instead impacted by Bev's strength. Bevlov informed Wang, this is the difference between us. You have weak tricks and I have absolute power. He launched a blow at Wang, but Wang dodged it, though it still caused destruction due to its power. Bev threw a large piece of wood at Wang, but it missed after that. Bev charged at Wang, throwing punches yet not connecting, and then delivered a kick that knocked Wang down. Wang tried to escape quickly, but he couldn't manage it. Bev grabbed him and threw him to the ground, attempting to stamp on him. Wang quickly evaded and stood up again, telling Bevlov, I'm going to save Shin no matter the cost. He threw a punch at Bevlov, but Bev blocked it. Then Bevlov broke Wang's arm and landed several punches following that. He slammed Wang against the wall and dealt a powerful strike that knocked him to the ground. The voice told Wang that the force of the stones had been completed and his power level had increased, showing the signs of strength. Wang stood back up and said to Bev, thank you for letting me release my muscles. Bev replied to Wang, real fighting requires a strong man. Wang responded, you talk too much and I'm going to make you silent. He told Bev it was his turn for the hits. Bevel attacked Wang, but Wang landed multiple strong punches, yet suddenly he coughed blood from his mouth, saying, I think the energy is going to explode from inside me. The voice informed Wang that the system was helping him expel toxins from his body and reassured him that was normal. Bev said, you're talking before I recover from my hits. Feeling enraged and attempted to deliver another blow, but Wang blocked it. Wang delivered a powerful strike to Bevelov, pushing him back while Bevelov pondered where Wang got that strength. Wang attacked and landed powerful punches that ultimately defeated Bevelov. We switched to Lucia's room, where Lucia was very angry about Wang defeating his fighters. He stated that these fighters were worthless and couldn't deal with an ordinary person. Lucia's assistant mentioned he thought Wang would be defeated by the next warrior. Lucia asked, are you sure about that? The assistant confidently replied, of course, if Bevel. Wang was with 2 other members of the gang, and there was a girl named Koi who introduced herself to Wang. Koi felt happy when Wang came to them and approached him to gauge his strength. She was surprised and said he didn't have any superpowers. The man with Koi mentioned that Wang wasn't into self-improvement and his inner strength was close to 0, with no fighting techniques, only relied on his physical strength. Koi said he was committed to physical training, which made her happy. Then Koi shook Wang's hand but hit him, which greatly angered Wang. He retaliated by hitting her as well, but Koi felt happy too and thought to herself that he had pure energy and wasn't causing her any internal injuries. She mentioned that this purity came in 2 types and believed this type resembled a pure jewel. When Wang saw Koi happy, he called her a crazy girl and immediately stepped away from her. Koi laughed and then attacked Wang again, delivering several successive hits, but Wang grabbed her by the head to stop her. Koi didn't stop and kicked him, sending Wang flying and knocking him to the ground. The man accompanying Koi pleaded with Wang to leave his will and let the matter end peacefully. Afterwards, Koi approached Wang, smiled at him, and delivered a strong kick that slammed him into a wall. Wang was very angry about this, delivering a blow to Koi that made her bleed, yet Koi thought to herself that this felt really good and she was very happy with this hit. Koi attacked Wang again and hit him multiple times, but Wang blocked her attacks and countered with another blow that pushed her away. Koi still felt happy. Then Wang got angry again and punched her several times. Koi said it felt very comfortable and asked Wang if this was his real strength. She hit him again, knocking him to the ground and transformed into a monster, but returned to her normal state afterward. The man accompanying her held her hands and told her not to use her power. Now, asking her to calm down, Koi replied, "Don't get involved in this." Satan addressing the man with her, she then got close to Wang and said he was very useful to her, expressing her desire to become stronger and suggesting they should go to a freer place. After that, she attacked Wang, again delivering a blow that caused a wound. Wang then searched for her, but she disappeared from in front of him and appeared behind him, coming close to absorb his blood. Wang was surprised by this and pushed her away, but Koi attacked him again. Wang pulled out a large stick to separate them, but Koi delivered a powerful blow that pushed him away. Wang thought she wasn't just strong, but also very fast, and that he had to fight seriously, otherwise he would face death. Koi attacked Wang again, injuring him and almost killing him when she attacked again. Wang tried to hit her, but Koi avoided the blow by soaring in the air and attacked him again. Wang attempted to defend against her attack, but Koi evaded it, moving swiftly around him and biting him from behind, causing Wang severe pain after absorbing Wang's blood. Koi almost transformed into a wolf, but Satan threw a needle at her to calm her down and prevent her transformation. Koi returned to her normal self because of the needle, which shocked Wang significantly. He remarked that he was fighting a monster. Then Wang looked at some stones and thought it was the right opportunity. When he tried to get closer to the stones, Satan hit Wang to stop him, leaving Wang astonished. Wondering how he got hit so hard, Satan prepared to face Wang. Wang said to Satan, "You're very strong. Are you next?" Satan told him to stop talking nonsense and struck him, but Wang dodged. The blow, Satan remarked that he misjudged that strike and got ready to attack again, but Koi was in pain and Satan joined her to continue her treatment. Satan told Wang that he came to save the girl in the upper floor and that he would let him go to save her. Wang asked, "Is this your surrender?" and how he would explain this to his boss. Wang said to Satan that if he wanted to surrender as well, it would prove that he hadn't attacked him after leaving, right? Satan replied, "I'm from the Wu Union. How can I surrender?" Wang thought. It was best not to fight, especially since Satan was treating Koi, but if he helped, they might attack him later. He told Satan, "Since you don't want to surrender, you're going to fight me after this." Satan said, "I can't surrender, but I will take a blood oath that I won't be your enemy." He showed Wang his Wu Union symbol and informed him that this oath is the highest commitment for practitioner. He made the oath saying he would remain at peace with Wang and that if he broke this oath, his bones would be crushed and scattered. As Wang recorded a video for Satan telling him it was just a memory for him, Satan gave the Union mark to Wang, asking him to leave. Wang remarked, "Isn't this mark fake?" Satan replied. "If you don't believe it, return it." Wang said, "No, I trust a respectful man like you and have no doubts about you at all." Wang approached Satan, wishing for both him and Koi to repent, asking him to take care of themselves. Satan agreed and left afterwards. We moved to Mesa, who is Koi's sister. Satan contacted her and asked her to withdraw immediately because her little sister Koi was tired. While they were communicating, Mesa was attacked, causing her to lose consciousness, and she lost contact with Satan. Next, we switched to Lucia, and one of the killers asks him, "Where are you going?" His assistant responds, "You haven't learned yet," informing him that all his hired fighters were eliminated, shocking Lucia. He asked his assistant, "Is this true?" His assistant confirmed that the plan had changed and they needed to withdraw immediately. Lucia began to feel angry, asking, "Did Shako do all this?" His assistant replied, "Shako does not compare to this more thrilling man." The assistant then told Lucia that a ceasefire had been issued with Wang. Lucia was furious and asked Shan to wait with him to complete the plan, promising to double the amount. However, Shan struck Luca, but Lucia's assistant blocked the blow to protect him. Shan told Luca, "I told you before not to order me with money." Lucia's assistant warned that this person was unpredictable and should not be angered, being the youngest and most arrogant of the 6 villains. Wang and Shan moved to the next floor and barged through the door. Wang said to the voice, "You told me I had 7 opponents, and I think only 2 are left now." The voice replied, "Of course, but they've disappeared. I don't know where they went." After that, Shan's assistant appeared waiting for Wang and told him that he was his remaining opponent. Shan joined his assistant and introduced himself to Wang. The voice told Wang that their combat power was 7, which stunned Wang greatly. Then both of them said to Wang that their names were Chuash and Wang. Then asked the voice, "Are you sure about their strength number?" The voice answered, "Of course, but the components of the inner dummy are strange and complex, and it contains a medium-tiered gem." After that, Shan's assistant told Wang not to worry, saying, "You're just a brat compared to someone of rank B," and informed him that his power didn't equal Wang's. However, he mentioned that nature reduces excess and enhances lack. Then he attacked Wang and delivered a powerful blow that made Wang crash into the walls. After that, Shan's assistant approached Wang, displayed his weapon, and said to Wang, "You're very reckless, relying on brute strength, while I rely on techniques such as spells, instant teleportation, and pure techniques." While he was talking, Wang threw a bunch of bottles at Shan's assistant, but the assistant deflected them and wasn't hit after that. Wang attacked Shan's assistant and delivered a blow, but the assistant blocked it and hit back, causing Wang to fall to the ground. However, Wang didn't give up and attacked Shan's assistant again, but he couldn't hit him at all. Shan's assistant successfully evaded and blocked all of Wang's attacks. Then Shan's assistant started landing some hits on Wang, causing him some injuries. But the strikes didn't affect Wang much. However, he started bleeding afterward. Shan's assistant attacked Wang again, but Wang threw dirt at him to disrupt his attack. After that, Wang charged at him and directed several strikes, but Shan's assistant blocked and dodged them again. Both of them exchanged blows, but Shan's assistant managed to land a strong strike using his magical power, pushing Wang back. This allowed Shan's assistant to hit Wang hard again. Then Shan's assistant revealed the Shan dummy and caused it to deliver magical blows to Wang, resulting in Wang's injury. After that, Shan didn't stop throwing fast and numerous blows at Wang, but Wang tried to dodge them. While dodging the strikes, Wang managed to get close to Shan and successfully landed a hit, stopping Shan's barrage and making him crash into the walls. After that, Shan's assistant attacked Wang again, delivering a very strong punch that caused Wang to bleed. At the same time, Wang grabbed Shan's assistant by the hair, which annoyed the assistant and made him demand Wang to let go immediately. Shan's assistant started hitting Wang to make him release his hair, but Wang wouldn't let go after that. Wang held on to Shan's assistant's hair tightly and delivered a very strong blow that knocked Shen's assistant to the ground, causing a chunk of his hair to be pulled out. And in Wang's hand, Wang thought to himself, "If he were a human fighter, my hit would have made him unable to stand again." After that, Shan's assistant stood up again and asked Wang how he managed to get back up. Shan's assistant said, "I didn't think you could destroy the protective spell with just one of your punches." He then told Wang, "You are very strong, but if I don't improve my fighting against you, the money I spent will have gone to waste." After that, his hair turned white and he used his magical power, telling Wang, "Anyone who sees me like this will die." He quickly attacked Wang and landed some strong hits, but Wang tried to defend himself, but couldn't. Shan's assistant delivered multiple strikes with his magical power. Again, the force of the blows pushed Wang away, and he nearly slipped off the building, but he managed to save himself. After that, Shan fired several magical projectiles at Wang, but Wang dodged them, getting closer to Shan. Wang grabbed Shan, thinking he could finish him off, but Shan grabbed him too. Shan's assistant managed to control both of them at the same time, slamming Wang into the walls with great force. After that, Shan's assistant approached Wang and asked him, "Do you know the value of the spell you attach to your body?" Wang replied, "I don't care." Shan's assistant said, "Each one cost me 700 0. And he was able to control Wang through this spell. He then landed a powerful blow on Wang that caused a massive explosion. Meanwhile, Lu Shan watched the fight and said, "This is indeed good." Shin was beside him, feeling very sad about Wang. We transitioned to Shan's assistant, who said, "The war is over for Wang, and war is just a game that wastes money." But Wang reappeared holding a mallet, which shocked Shan's assistant greatly. Enraged, Shan's assistant asked how Wang managed to block it with that mallet as well. Wang replied, "You're surprised now, aren't you? This is the power of a farmer's mallet. It only cost me $1. 0 cents, Shan's assistant responded. "Okay, let's start playing again," telling Wang he would add 144 million to finish him off. Shan's assistant struck Wang using the Shan dummy, but Wang was fully prepared for the onslaught encountered with his own mallet strike, surprising Shan's assistant greatly. He thought to himself, how did he manage to use distance-reducing techniques? Wang then said to Shan's assistant, "I have a trump card and you forced me to use it, so I commend you. You're skilled." He grabbed Shan's assistant's rope, and Shan's assistant said to Wang, "5 spells, let's see how long you last." He tried to pull the rope away from Wang, but he couldn't. Wang replied, "You forgot that you placed a spell worth 3.5 million on me." Wang pulled Sean's assistant toward him and delivered several strong and fast punches, pushing him away and cutting the rope between them, making Sean collide with the walls. After that, Wang felt extremely fatigued, but continued to press on. We transitioned to Lucia and his assistant. Luca's assistant said to Lucia, "We need to escape now." Lucia replied, "I can't run away now." He told the assistant he knew he saved him because he was the third son of the Yan clan and that his death would only bring shame to his family. Lucia's assistant vowed, "It's my duty to protect you, my lord." Lucia removed his gloves and said to the assistant, "You know, I always have a trump card, and I can turn the fight in my favor. This isn't reckless revenge. I've gambled everything I have on this opportunity." The assistant replied, "If that's the case, I'll use all my strength to preserve your life now." We returned to Wang as for the stone inside Shan. The time for its detonation was approaching. After that, Sean's assistant fled, saying he hadn't fought effectively, but everything was still under his control. He directed another spell at Wang, but darkness suddenly enveloped the area. Surprising Sean's assistant, he said, "It's not working," which made him angry. After that, he was taken aback by Wang emerging from the building. Wang attacked Shan's assistant, but he threw some explosive spells at Wang. Wang managed to avoid these blows by flying in the air, but Shan's assistant didn't give up, throwing several more strikes, some of which Wang dodged while getting hit by others, causing him to crash into some rocks. After that, Shan's assistant directed a blow at Wang using a magical spell on a large rock, surrounding him with explosive stones, but Wang used his mallet to evade these punches and charged at Sean's assistant again. Sean managed to remove some spells from the rocks, but there were other rocks that triggered a massive explosion, nearly hitting Wang. But Wang remembered Shin and decided he needed to save her, which renewed his strength. He charged at Sean's assistant again and landed several powerful punches, causing significant destruction after that. Wang and the Sean dummy entered the courtyard, but Wang returned to the battlefield alone afterward. Soon after, Wang lost consciousness. When he awoke, he called out for Shin. Thinking to himself that he was going to save her, he moved towards Shin's room as well as Lu Sha's. He asked, "Have they escaped?" He encountered Hyung and asked, "Where's Xin?" Hyung pleaded, "Please don't kill me, let me go." Wang was furious and asked again, "Where's Xin?" Hyung pointed him toward her location, and Wang went directly to find her, breaking down the wooden door. Once he entered, he untied her, and Shin warned him, "Get out of here. There's a bomb under the seat. If you stand still, it will explode immediately." When Wang looked at the bomb, Shin urged him to leave and save himself. Wang assured her he had dealt with worse before, but Lu Sha locked the door behind him, telling him this room was made by Chaofan. Then the voice told Wang, "You can't use instant teleportation power here." Lu Sha told them, "I'll wait here and watch you die." Wang asked the voice, "How do I safely disable the bomb?" The voice replied, "Cut the wires in order." Wang followed instructions and threw the bomb inside the cube, but the stone inside the dummy exploded, causing Wang to lose consciousness. Lu Sha was furious and shouted, "Where did the bomb go?" He burst into their room and started firing. Lu Sha's assistant urged them to leave immediately as they fled after Shin was hit by gunfire. Wang attempted to carry her, telling her to hang on. Then Shiku appeared and told Wang you couldn't save her, before taking her from him and moving on. Wang tried to chase after them, but he couldn't catch up. Shiko taunted Wang, saying, "You can't even protect yourself, let alone her." He jumped away, carrying Shin. Wang rushed to the window, furious, looking for Shin, but couldn't see her. He looked up at Shiko, saying, "You don't know anything about her or the supernatural realm," blaming Shiko for this and saying he would take care of it after that he disappeared, leaving Wang in tears as he reminisced about the beautiful moments with Shin. Then we see Wang standing in front of Zhao Yao's house, seeing her parents in deep sorrow over her loss. Wang speaks to himself angrily, saying, "She took Zhao Yao from me, and the magic cube no longer responds. Even though I can still use microwave radiation and teleportation, I really can't get Zhao Yao back." Then that car arrives, and a woman gets out and tells Wang that she knows Yan Luo's location. He asks her angrily, "Where is he?" She asks him to go to another place to talk, and they go to a restaurant and drink coffee together. She tells him that she wants to ask him something before telling him Yan Luo's location, saying to him, "The monks with supernatural abilities, the mutants, or any kind of mythical creatures, why don't they appear before the public?" He tells her that they are skilled at hiding, but he is not interested in that and wants to know Yan Luo. The girl tells him that he should be interested because she has been secretly protecting him all this time, otherwise he would have been dealt with long ago. Wang is surprised by her words and asks her about the 3 people sitting behind him who are ready to attack him at any moment. The girl and the men become nervous because Wang has exposed them. When they prepare to attack him, he tells them to calm down, and that if they don't tell him Yan Luo's location, he will finish them now. Then Wang sees the girl's personal identification card. She is Mo Yuqian, and she is the head of the case department at the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. Wang tells her that he believes her and asks her what her goal is. Mo tells him that a supernatural person like him, whose powers have just awakened, is very likely to be eliminated. And since she is protecting him, it is natural for him to return the favor. Wang realizes that she wants him to become a mercenary like her assistants, and tells her that her followers are not strong enough, they are C-rank fighters. Then we see one of her assistants telling her that Wang's power is at least B rank and beyond their control. Then Mo tells him that she wants him to help them complete 3 missions, and if he does, he will know Yan Luo's location. Wang tells her that he also wants information about Shi Guoren more than Yan Luo. Mo agrees and gives him the agreement form to read the tasks, telling him that she will give him a reward of 50,000 Earth coins. Wang asks her, "How do I know you won't deceive me?" She tells him that just talking to her safely like this is a source of trust, and it is not easy to accept this mission and give it to anyone. Then she asks him to complete the first mission and leaves. Then we see her with her driver, who asks her, "Why are we doing this time? We haven't hidden such dangerous people before." Mo tells him, "Do you remember the old man's favorite saying? He always said, wealth comes from risk. People like us, if we don't take risks, we will always remain small fish." And I have done some investigations, and this young man, Wang, is relatively clean. His abilities only awakened less than a month ago, yet he managed to survive a B-level battle. So don't think too much, and remember that wealth comes from risk. Then we see the power cube on the roof of the car, where Wang is eavesdropping on them. Then the driver asks her, "Do you really intend to give that young man Wang information about the Yanluo family? If anyone discovers that we have so much information, the consequences will be severe." Mo reassures him. It's clear that Wang knows nothing about the situations of the big families, and he doesn't understand the levels of information. It's enough to give him some D-level information. Wang realizes that the girl is exploiting his youth and naivety, and he becomes angry with them, vowing revenge. The next morning, Wang uses the GPS and arrives at the Bo-Er mansion. The girl welcomes him, and he enters and sees many people, wondering, are all these people here to participate in the test? It seems there are people from all walks of life. Then Mr. Zhu, the director of this recruitment session for Mr. Bo's personal guards, appears and informs them that he wants 3 basic abilities in a bodyguard: the ability to discern, reaction speed, and combat skills. Therefore, everyone will be tested in these 3 aspects. Then the first test begins, which is the discernment room. Everyone enters the room, and he tells them that the rules of this discernment room are that each person gets 5 free chips at the beginning, and they can play as they wish, but violence or stealing others' chips is prohibited. Once 10 chips are collected, this level will be passed, and 30 people will qualify from this round. Then everyone starts playing. Wang approaches one of the tables to start playing, and one of the participants approaches him and asks him to compete in the game. The game begins, and the girl takes out a metal piece and places it under the cups. The cups are shuffled quickly, and she asks the other participant, "Where is the golden piece?" The participant chooses the cup on the left, then tells her that the metal piece is not under the cups, but in her right hand. The girl immediately switches it to her left hand. Wang realizes she is very fast and asks her to open both her hands. The girl tells him he is right, and he won double the bet. All the participants are surprised by Wang's skill in discernment. The other participant becomes angry and thinks the girl cheated him. The girl tells him there was no cheating, and therefore Wang won and got 10 chips and leaves. Then that beautiful girl arrives and asks to play. After several days, we see Wang getting ready, as all the tests have been completed and the required number has been reached. The main mission is about to begin. And thus our episode ends today. To watch more episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Then we see all the trainees in the hall with Wang. Zhu welcomes them and congratulates them. Then Mr. Biao enters and congratulates everyone for passing the tests. If they win, they will receive valuable prizes, and he leaves. Then Zhu informs them that Mr. Biao has already transferred the agreed-upon amount of 3 million of the human currency he promised them. Wang is very surprised by the amount, so Zhu asks him why he is so surprised, as his client, Miss Yu Yaqian, has confirmed the payment. Wang realizes that this means he will only receive 50,000 out of the 3 million which was not his agreement with Yu Yaqian, and that she has deceived him. Then we see Wang in the car with Yu, and she informs them that the upcoming information is highly confidential. Rudra's banquet, held in Country H on planet Earth, consists of 7 tasks, one of which is an auction. Mr. Biao's goal is the ancient mask, and their mission is to help him obtain it. Then Wang asks her about the jewel in the paper in his hands, and she tells him it is an obsidian jewel, one of the main auction offerings. Wang remembers when the cube was trying to tell him something, saying something like obsidian. Then Wang feels a pain in his head, and Yu asks him what's wrong. He tells her he's fine and says to himself, even though this woman deceived me, there are many things I want from the banquet. He wants to find Lu Yao. Then they arrive at the location and enter the palace. Wang sees many people. The host welcomes them and wishes them good luck. Then the night begins with the Golden Warrior Bell game. A door opens in the ground and we see a large crocodile below. Everyone is surprised. The host tells them not to worry, as their safety is their top priority. Then he puts his foot in the hole, but doesn't fall, because there is transparent glass on the ground, and this tempered glass is bulletproof. Then he tells them the rules of the game. A golden bell is tied around the crocodile's neck, only hand weapons are allowed, and whoever removes the bell from the crocodile's neck will win. Then, many gold pieces appear, and he tells them that this is the reward for winning. However, there is a final rule. Before the bell is obtained, the adventurer is not allowed to leave the cage at all. Wang realizes that those people are manipulating the lives of adventurers for entertainment. Then the first warrior enters the cage and tries to snatch the bell from the crocodile, but the crocodile suddenly wakes up and kills him. Everyone is surprised, and Wang realizes that there is something suspicious about that crocodile. It is unusually fast. Then the host speaks and informs everyone that this crocodile is no ordinary crocodile, but an artistic masterpiece made by Duo Biotechnology Company and possesses enhanced abilities, with its ferocity multiplied by 1.5 times. Based on the rules, the prize will be increased by 30%. Then, the warrior Hao is chosen to enter the cage. Wang is surprised by these foolish, money-hungry people, even if it costs them their lives. His friend tells him, "You really didn't read the contract carefully, Yehi. If no one volunteers, someone will be chosen to participate against their will, so why do you think they offered 3 million currency for winning?" Then Wang notices a man standing at the top, and his friend tells him not to stare at that man, as he is one of the organizers of Rudra's banquet, and his mission is to maintain order. Then we see how in the cage he has managed to hit the crocodile with some spears, and then attacked it with several other attacks. However, even though he inflicted several injuries on the crocodile, it doesn't seem to be in critical condition, and is still holding its strength. When Hao tries to attack with the final blow, the crocodile strikes him with its tail and kills him. Then Mr. Biao doubles the prize from his own pocket to encourage the warriors to enter the cage. Modi steps forward and asks to enter the cage. Then another person named Golden Poison steps forward and wants to enter the cage. Thus, the law of the survival of the fittest will apply. If more than one warrior participates in fighting the beast in the cage, they must fight each other to the death first, and whoever wins will enter the cage for the beast. Then the duel begins between Golden Poison and the warrior Modi. Golden Poison attacks him, bites him on the shoulder, and kills him easily. Then we see Wang's friend telling him that Golden Poison's skill is to enhance combat power by absorbing the victim's blood, and the stronger the victim, the greater his power. However, in return, after the effects wear off, he will become afraid of cold and light. Then Golden Poison steps forward and enters the cage without a weapon. When the crocodile advances towards him, Golden Poison jumps on the crocodile's mouth and kisses it. The crocodile closes its eyes, and Golden Poison cuts off the crocodile's head and obtains the bell. Then he presents the bell to the host to take his prize. Then the host informs them that the night is not over yet and reveals another beast, and its prize will be very special. Then the beast appears, and it is very strong, combining the agility of cats and the strength of bears. When Wang sees it, he is very surprised and feels a bad feeling. And so ends our episode today of That Anime. To watch more episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new content. When the fierce beast appeared before them, it caused a state of panic because it was devouring the staff members who had tied a golden bell around its neck. Leato asked the fighters, "Who among you wants to challenge this monster?" After much thought, Wang said to himself, "I think there's someone causing trouble without anyone noticing, and I suspect it's a traitor from my team." Then one of the fighters approached the beast, but the beast didn't pay him any attention at all. It was focused on escaping this place and began attacking others, wanting to break the glass cage. This made everyone feel scared, and they tried to escape from the top of the glass cage. However, Liato attempted to reassure them. The fighter tried again to attack the beast while inside the cage, trying to direct another strike at it, but the beast quickly vanished and attacked the fighter, killing him. After that, Wang started searching for the traitor and discovered that it was Pian through the powder he had thrown on the ground. Pian wanted to hit this beast, not the crocodile, and Wang thought he was paving the way for this event. Then the beast broke free, and Lato tried to save the situation, but the beast smashed the glass cage and emerged standing face-to-face with Lato. When it attacked Lato, fighter Morong intervened and struck the beast, pushing it away from Lato, putting himself in the line of fire. Lato thanked Morong and rushed to escape. While everyone was fleeing, only Mr. Park remained, believing that this was part of the day's events and not real. Wang thought Park and his accomplices were behind this and said to himself that it was possible to exploit the opportunity to gain some benefits from the Yan family. He started moving toward Yan's team, but the guards arrived and took control of the situation, eliminating the beasts and assuring the nobles not to worry. Wang returned to where he was, but discovered that one of the fighters in his team was missing. We shift to the girl with his team who was sneaking until she reached the vault after disabling the surveillance cameras and using the matching entry method, but after opening the vault, one of the fighters was waiting for her and attacked her. They exchanged some blows until the guards arrived, but the warrior managed to defeat them. Just when the one-eyed fighter almost killed her from behind, Wang intervened and saved her, killing the one-eyed fighter. She asked him why he was in this place, and he told her he was looking for the bathroom and got lost on his way here. The warrior then asked Wang if he was a friend or an enemy. He replied, "I'm your personal guard," which surprised the warrior. He told her he knew she was their leader and wanted to obtain some secret items from this palace because she always stood in the back, and that Mr. Park was not a front for her. She told him there was no point in this place and asked him to leave before the guards found them, but he refused and went inside, telling her he hadn't found anything and the place was completely empty. After that, they entered the vault and began searching. Wang then negotiated with her that if she told him about the escape route, he would tell her where the treasure was. Later, he saved her from the bullets aimed at her by the guards, and they ordered them to exit, but they did not comply. So one of the guards threw a grenade at them, but Wang immediately threw the grenade back and fled with the leader. However, they were surrounded by guards from all sides who started hitting them and knocked them to the ground. But Wang used a trick to escape from them and succeeded along with the leader. They then moved to a room nearby, but Wang told her that the situation wouldn't last long and they could be found any time now. She told him it was possible for him to escape alone now, but he wanted more information about Yan and Shiko to find Shin. After that, he informed her that the guards were coming now, and he acted as if he was alone, which helped reduce the number of guards searching for the leader. When the number of guards decreased, the leader emerged, and they attacked the guards, successfully defeating them. They quickly fled and moved to a place where they broke through a wall, and he told her that this place was safe and reinforced. Each of them found what they were looking for. He found the cube, and she found the book she wanted. After that, they went and took the elevator to exit this place. We shift to the guards who are in a miserable condition when a new guard comes to them and tells them he was sleeping. He asks what happened and offers them assistance with some strengthening pills, asking them to take. Next, we see the guards waiting for Wang and the leader to come out of the elevator. They've received orders to shoot anyone who comes out of the elevator. We shift to the elevator where Wang wonders why they're not going down to the last floor. The leader needed to do something before they could go down. She asked Wang to leave her and go if he wanted, but since he is the personal guard of the leader, he shouldn't. The leader then scrambled the cameras of the western elevator, and when it arrived at their designated floor, the guards opened fire. The leader charged at them. We moved to the other guards heading to support their teammates, trying to communicate with them, but no one responded. Then we go to the boss's level after she wiped out all the guards, surprising Wang. However, there was no time for shock. The leader showed a map for their escape plan, explaining everything to Wang. The exit is through an elevator that leads to the sewage system, and they need to move quickly because this floor is dangerous. But Wang rushed and took the wrong path, angering the leader, who told him the direction was wrong. They quickly moved until they found a blood stain in one of the corridors, making Wang feel uneasy. The leader put on a glove so she could open the door on that floor, but Wang thought it was a bad idea. However, the leader had to go into that room because there was something in there she was interested in. It turns out this room is the Yang Dui Institute for Genetic Biological Research, which intrigued Wang when he learned about it, but the leader didn't care about his annoyance, telling him to focus on his job and be quiet. They had to hurry, because she wanted to gather information about something extremely important. As they walked, they encountered many monsters that were bioweapons, because these people were so obsessed with bioengineering, believing they could turn life into military power while deceiving themselves by ignoring the risks. They entered room Tau 7, and when the doctor inside saw them, she told them the professor was waiting for them. Wang was surprised by her lack of shock at their presence. The doctor went to call the professor to meet them, then informed the professor of the leader and Wang's arrival and mentioned that the guards were on their way. The professor approached them and welcomed the leader, who was named Momo Zia, and tried to get to know Wang since he hadn't seen him before. But Momo told him this wasn't a social visit and asked about the genetic treatment he promised her. She also asked him what was happening in the lab. Momo was very quick, but there was an agreement between her and the professor. She would give him what she took from the vault, and he would give her the genetic treatment. This astonished Wang, but Momo wanted to make sure the treatment was real, and she would confirm this when the professor showed it to her. He informed them that they had encountered the system guards, right, and that their strength was average. They couldn't access this power without the results of his research because he had revealed an experiment on gene hybridization and the ability to enhance the human body incredibly. The integration rate had reached 95%. Du Yang halted the research because he wanted to create a biological weapon for the army, while the professor found this boring and felt there was no need to study animals since human experiments were the future of biotechnology. Wang was astonished that they had experimented on humans, but the professor had his opinion that these studies were close to achieving a great milestone and that some sacrifices were necessary for that. They were only 5% away, a very simple step, and they would solve all the challenges of biotechnology, even diseases. He informed them that all scientists were interested in this matter, but they hadn't achieved the success he had reached so far. However, Momo got angry at the professor and attacked him, demanding to know about her grandfather's treatment. A treatment wasn't with the professor at that moment, but if Wang handed him the scroll, he would complete his mission and secure enough funding to finish his task because they only needed a few more human trials, and then he would make the treatment she needed for her grandfather's recovery. Momo didn't like what the professor was saying and directed a beatdown on him, bringing him to the ground and delivering several kicks until he lost consciousness. Just as she was about to kill him with her sword, she was threatened by the doctor associated with the professor, who asked Momo to let him go so she wouldn't kill him. She told Momo that their research had limitless potential and that since Momo was a lowly creature, she wouldn't understand this, which made Momo furious from the doctor's reprimanding. Momo attacked the doctor, knocking her down, and told her they weren't just a bunch of lunatics using humans as lab rats to create monsters, and that they didn't understand the dangers of this. This shocked Wang, making him wonder if Momo was obsessed with killing. Momo then told the doctor that they lacked moral values and were monsters with cold blood, asking how their actions differed from Yabang's greed. It was ironic that she hadn't put all her hopes in them to save her grandfather, and that this research lab should never have existed in the first place. She asked Wang to help her destroy this lab, but a strange light appeared in Wang and suddenly vanished, causing the cube to fall. Momo didn't see what happened and wondered where it went, but shrugged it off, stating she would destroy the lab herself. However, the professor opposed this action because it was his future and the result of his long years of research, claiming these monsters were like his children. Momo didn't care about his words and wished him a nice time with his children. We shift to the cube, where Wang was inside and the obsidian core was powering the cube. Wang was very happy to return to the cube, shedding tears of joy. The cube informed him that the space had expanded to a 5x5m cube, and the instant transportation had been upgraded to twice a minute, along with new skills gained. Wang then teleported instantly again. Next, we moved to Momo in the lab, where she opened the cages of the monsters while the system guards were approaching her. As the guards slowly advanced, some flying monsters appeared and attacked them. The leader asked Tashagi to do something to stop them, but Tashagi told her to handle it herself. Tashagi then burned one of the flying monsters and told the guards not to fear it, since it was just flying bats. The leader of the guards was amazed at her coming out of the lab. Then Seaman began to utter the word power because he sensed something approaching them, which surprised the leader. She warned them to be careful as Toshagi moved ahead of the guards. After that, a monster appeared from above Toshagi and attacked him. He nearly used his power, but he couldn't due to being killed earlier by the monster. The leader ordered the guards to shoot at the monster, but the bullets had no effect on it. The monster then struck them down, bringing them to the ground, and attacked again, almost eating one of the guards. But the leader intervened, restraining the monster with her weapon, and asked Simon to intervene. She then pulled the monster to her, and Simon struck it, killing it. We switch back to Momo, who was heading to the exit, but found a barrier. Puzzled by it, she pulled out the map again to check, but she sensed someone behind her and blocked a strike from the leader. The leader was amazed by Momo's quick reflexes, but wanted to bid her farewell before leaving. Momo realized the monsters hadn't killed them, which angered the leader when she learned she was behind it. She ordered Simon to get ready for battle and advanced towards Momo, wanting to enjoy the time with her before killing her. The leader struck Momo multiple times, but Momo blocked all the attacks until the leader grabbed her by the arm with her weapon, telling her not to resist too much because she had paralyzed Momo's sensory system. She then ordered Seaman to attack. Seaman rushed at Momo and struck her down, causing her to fall. He approached her again, and the leader told her to pray for mercy. But Momo had a different voice, believing this wasn't her time to die. The leader thanked Momo for taking their potion, preventing them from leaving, and told her they had been kidnapped as children and treated by the professor as test subjects. Then Seaman lost his sight and suffered a lot to survive. But Momo was angry about the mistake they made, and that this was not an excuse for their evil deeds. They had been trapped in that lab forever, and a spoiled princess like Momo wouldn't understand their suffering. Mama wanted to kill them because of the number of people who had died because of them. Simon prepared to strike her, but Wang suddenly appeared, knocking Simon to the ground with his power. Momo was astonished by Wang's sudden appearance. Realizing he had come at the right time, he didn't want thanks from Momo for appearing again, but Momo got angry at Wang for disappearing. She punched him because she nearly died. Then a voice informed Wang about a large number of monsters on their way. Wang advised the leader to be cautious as monsters appeared behind the leader, causing her to feel fear. Wang grabbed Momo and told her to get ready, but the leader thought Wang and Momo were also caught in the same predicament. Wang bid her farewell and teleported with Momo while the monsters attacked the leader. Wang and Momo teleported directly to the sewers. Momo put on a diving suit and informed him of a one-person submarine, not worrying about him because he had his secret skills. Suddenly, the guard who provided the organization's guards with drugs appeared, telling them they were trash and that he had underestimated them. The voice informed Wang that this guard had a very high combat power. Then the guard told them that Leal Ka was very slow, and if it weren't for the wind, they wouldn't have noticed him, which led to Momo feeling angry about Leal Ka being in this place. Then the voice told Wang that the power of Leal Ka far exceeded his own, and that Leal Ka used stealth techniques, which is why Wang didn't sense him. However, it was supposed that Leal Ka was out of the country now to carry out an assassination mission, and that's what Momo knew. But a month ago, when he learned about a person wanting to steal information from Rudra, he got even more excited, as if he were fishing for a big catch, not anticipating that there were only 2 small fish. Then he approached Wang and told him that no matter how small the fish were, they could grow if nurtured. He tried to manipulate Momo into joining him, but Wang stopped him, which angered Leal Ka. He reprimanded Wang, calling him smelly, but Wang charged at Leal Ka with a strong blow using a knife, though it did not hit him. Leal Ka revealed his weapon and attacked Wang as well, directing several blows at him, but Wang dodged them all. Then, Leal Ka used his invisibility ability and suddenly appeared in front of Wang, directing a strike at him, but Wang managed to block it. Momo was greatly surprised by Leela's strength, but he succeeded in landing a blow on Wang that knocked him back. Then he turned towards Momo because he enjoyed killing those who attacked from stealth. While he was heading towards Momo, Wang suddenly appeared and swung a blow at him, but Leal Ka took the hit and held on well, allowing him to grab Wang. He tossed him in the air and slammed him down hard, and was about to stab him. Then Momo attacked Leal Ka, but Leal Ka dodged this attack. Then Wang attacked him once more and managed to cause him an injury, but Leal Ka then decided to retreat from them because he underestimated them and did not recognize their true strength. Momo then offered to cooperate with Wang, but they saw that their only chance was to collaborate to escape. Wang asked the voice to use the new power and infused this knife with gemstone energy, but only added 25% of it. While Wang was thinking about organizing his power with the voice, Lil Ka charged at him, striking him down to the ground. Then Momo attacked Lil Ka, directing several blows at him, but Lil Ka dodged all the strikes and also knocked the sword from Momo's hand. Then Wang suddenly attacked from behind Momo, but Lil Ka managed to grab him and throw him to the ground. Momo then tried to attack Lil Ka as well, but he also caught her and dealt a blow, slamming her down as well. He kicked Wang away and told him that those forbidden arts he used, he couldn't use them at will, and asked if they were just for one-time use. Momo started to worry about Wang, but Wang reassured her and told her to escape while he would keep Leah occupied. They then began throwing things at him to distract him, including a bomb, and when he grabbed it, it exploded. They tried to flee quickly, but Lil Ka appeared behind Momo and attempted to grab her, but Wang intervened to push him away. He couldn't manage it because to Lil Ka he wasn't worthy yet. Lil Ka caught him and slammed him to the ground. Then Momo attacked Lil Ka from behind, but Lil Ka succeeded in countering her attack, catching her as well and throwing her against the walls, causing her to lose consciousness. Wang then tried to strike him again, but Lil Ka easily grabbed him and delivered a blow, causing him to fall. Wang attempted again, but Lelia Ka was unaffected, which made Lelia Ka furious as he slammed Wang against the walls. Wang didn't give up and shouted at Lei Ka that this was just his power. Lei Ka began to approach him to finish him off. Wang asked the voice how much time was left to merge the cube. There was 1 minute and 12 seconds left. Lelia Ka got close to him, strangling him, and asked why Wang was holding on. Was it for money, women, or did he want to be a hero? Then he revealed his weapon again, just as Wang was about to lose consciousness from the strangling. Lelia Ka asked why they wanted to invade this place and for what reason. Wang then remembered Shin and said it was for that. Meanwhile, on the other side, Momo was running quickly. And as Lelia Ka continued to strangle Wang, Momo hit him from behind. She thought she had eliminated Lelia Ka, but the voice told Wang that he was not affected at all. And Wang warned Momo, causing her to dodge a blow directed at her from Lelia Ka. Momo then struck Lelia Ka several times, but they had no effect. While Momo was flying in the air, Leela hit her with a long-range strike, knocking her down. Leela acknowledged that he possessed a well-organized system inside him, enhanced by drugs, and that this surprise attack meant nothing to him. Then he pulled the sword from his body and advanced toward Momo, ready to kill her, considering this a reward for her success in wounding him. Then the merging completed, turning Wang's weapon into a rare weapon with ice properties. Wang readied himself, filled with excitement, seeing it as a great opportunity, and showed off his weapon. However, the voice informed him that the merging had failed and the weapon would explode in 30 seconds, urging him to discard it and get away, which made Wang feel uneasy. When 10 seconds remain, Wang dashed toward Lei Ka and stabbed him in the hand, which made Lei Ka angry, causing him to strike Wang, knocking him far away. Momo felt worried about him again and moved toward him to check on him. Lei Ka had anticipated this, knowing it was Wang's last chance, but it was a slim hope for him. Lil Ka removed the knife from his hands, freezing him completely. Wang thought he had defeated Lil Ka, but the voice informed him that Lil Ka's power was rapidly increasing. After that, Wang told Momo to escape quickly, and they ran towards the drainage outlet. While they were trying to escape, the snow cracked as Lil Ka emerged again. When they reached the drainage, Wang urged Momo to run quickly, but she didn't want to leave him alone. He reassured her he would handle it. Wang exhibited extreme exhaustion and could no longer confront Lelia Ka. Then Lelia Ka appeared, charging at them at full speed, and Wang pushed Momo toward the drainage for her escape, stating he had his own way to flee. When Lelia Ka closed in on Wang, he destroyed the place, but Wang had moved into the cube, which greatly angered Lelia Ka, but he was ready for them at another time. Momo continued escaping in the drainage, still connected to the cube. The next day, Wang reflected on the past, considering it a dream for him, but he hadn't found Shin yet. Then he moved to Momo's office, where she asked him what was troubling him. Wang was surprised to find himself in this place for superhero identification cards and competitions, and he felt a headache from the conversation. Momo noted that he had plenty of time to think about it, but wanted just one answer. Did he want to join their office, which is ITC? Wang asked what ITC was, and Momo explained that ITC was a training center aiming for the competition of superhero. While she was talking to him, Wang interrupted and immediately refused, which made Momo angry that he didn't listen to the rest of what she said about the superhero competition. Wang had more important things to do, but Momo understood the important things Wang wanted to do and said she'd give him some free information about this. He told him that regarding the best superhero winner in the 43 competition of the world of superheroes, it was Shiko, which made Wang furious when he heard the name. He asked Momo if she knew where he was now. She said that she didn't have much information about him and told him he was extremely powerful and skilled in stealth, making him hard to find. He asked him to go with her to the competition for himself and for Shin as well. Wang remembered Shin and agreed to join the competition with Momo, but he had one condition. She must help him find Shin. They agreed on this, making Momo feel happy because it completed her team. And with that, this anime comes to an end. For more anime summaries, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest recaps.